I don't think everyone out there gives their mindset the weight that it really deserves. So if we're thinking negative thoughts all the time about our abilities, then we're not going to be really successful with whatever those thoughts are. But if we can put a positive spin and have positive thoughts, then we're going to achieve positive things.
Absolutely. And I think, we talked a little bit about this in the last episode. This idea of really speaking life into and outcomes into your actions and telling yourself that you can, right? Because if you tell yourself you can't do something, the outcome is obvious, right? We've all experienced it. You get into something that feels a little bit uncomfortable. You get pushed beyond what you think is your limit. And that little nagging voice in the back of your head creeps up and says, you can't do this. And then what do you do?
Right.
It's not that you can't do it. And it's not that you weren't able to persevere and overcome. But what happens when you hear that voice is you just simply stop trying. And so I think that's what Henry meant when he said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Tell yourself you can, and you will find a way to overcome. Tell yourself you can't, and you'll just quit.
Right. Absolutely. So if I tell myself, you know what, I failed, I'm embarrassed, what's that going to do to my mindset? But if I flip that and I say, wow, I'm proud of myself. I tried. I took, that took courage. I was brave. How is that going to affect my mindset?
Huge.
I had no idea I'd one day be sitting here with you doing a podcast. I was nervous as all get up when we started talking about doing this.
We didn't even know each other until a year ago.
I know. We haven't even come up on, let's say, our 1 year friendiversary.
The friendiversary, that's right. No, that's true. I mean, this is a very new relationship, right? And really a new career for both of us. And we both had past careers, but absolutely. I mean, if you told me that I would be doing this, being a financial coach, hosting a podcast on my own, co-hosting a podcast with you, even a year or 2 years ago, I would have said you're crazy. Absolutely not. Like that's not in my plan, right? But now, here we are, and it's not because it's easy, and it's not because there's all this money coming to us and sponsorships and like there's just this no-brainer. We have to do this because we have to capitalize. Yes, we hope to be able to monetize and capitalize and make this sustainable. But there's a lot of work, a lot of effort that goes into it, and it would be so easy. So personal testimony here. Last night I didn't sleep at all. I haven't told you this yet, but I got up.
What's going on?
I tossed. I don't know. I tossed and turned all night. I don't know if I was thinking about the podcast today. It's tax season. I don't know if maybe that was in my mind. I'm trying to get those taxes prepared and sent before we go on vacation, and so maybe there's a little bit of that nagging at me. And of course, there's always going to be something, but for whatever reason, I just did not sleep. Everybody was home. Sometimes I don't sleep well when people are, when my wife has to travel and stuff like that. I worry about her being out on the road and, safety and things of that nature, but everybody was home. We've all been home. There's no travel coming up. So I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I didn't sleep. And, so I tossed and turned until about 2. I got up, I made myself a cup of tea, decaf tea, so that it wasn't the tea.
Good call.
Yeah. And I drank a little bit of water and I watched a little bit of TV and I tried to go back to bed, and that was around 4:30. And then I got up. I don't think I slept between 4:30 and 6:30, but I got up at 6:30 as I normally do with my son to get him ready for school and got him off to school. And then it was time to get ready and start recording. So, I had lots of excuses not to do this today. And I could have told myself, I didn't get a good night's sleep. I'm not going to be able to focus. So, today's just not a good day. Let's postpone. Let's do this another time. But I didn't. I didn't use that as an excuse. I didn't even plan to talk about that today. But it just seems kind of relevant, given the topic. And yeah.
Sorry. So let me ask you a question, because I got to get this in here. So if you were to record your own podcast today, which you have your own show, would you have done it? Or did you show up today because you were accountable to me and our commitment that we've made to each other?
It's a great question. I hadn't really considered it. I will try to be as honest and genuine as possible and vulnerable and say that I probably would have just stayed in bed. I would have come home and I would have gotten right back in bed. Now, would I have gotten up and recorded, my episode later? If I had the opportunity, the ability to be flexible and do that, unknown. I don't know. I probably not. I do think that the accountability is is a strong incentive. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me putting you on the spot like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. And I like that because we talk about accountability, right? And the value of having an accountability partner in your life.
Right. So let me throw something else at you. We both talked about the first episode that we filmed of this, and we both, we were excited. We did it. We loved it. We congratulated each other. And then a week or two went by, and when we followed up to plan our next couple episodes, we were both like, we don't want to do that again. we don't want to look so scripted and so acting. And that's really not who we are, but here we are doing something new for the first time together.
Yeah.
And it didn't come out quite what we wanted, right? So we can get hard on ourselves and we could say, wow, that was really not the best content or the best that we can do. Or we could say we can learn from it.
Absolutely.
And we can switch that mindset and we could do better. And I think episode 2 will be better. And I think this episode 3 will be better, and so on and so forth. And like what you brought up before, hopefully we get a year out and we look back and we say, wow, we're doing so much better now. That was awful.
That was awful. But what were we thinking? Why would we ever have put that out in the public eye, in the public view, right?
Right.
No, I think you're right. And what you didn't say, and I think we kind of did automatically, we never said, well, that didn't go as planned, so maybe we just shouldn't do this. We both just kind of automatically, so I'm giving us both a virtual high five here. We both just kind of started critiquing the first experience, right? And we realized as we were running out of time and we were having a hard time recording and creating content, we wanted to get through a full episode 1, which was our episode 2, in the first session, and we just didn't get there. So we didn't meet that goal. We didn't meet that expectation. And it never even occurred to me to say, well, this just isn't going to work.